Yo, what's good, boys? Welcome back. It's your boy Poptavius. We got another beta video, and today I got something special for you. So, for those of you who don't know, what you're looking at right now, this is my medieval city. That's what I call it. It's just the medieval city. I've been working on this technically for 2 years now, and as of right now, this project is finally finished. So, huge monument, huge unbelievable milestone passed. I remember thinking so many times while doing this project that it was just never going to end because it felt like it just kept getting bigger and more disgusting as time went on. But it's finally done. So I'm ecstatic. I couldn't be happier right now. I'm so ready to move on from this. But first, we got a showcase. So, yes, the project's done, but that's because I did a bunch of work off camera to just 11th hour this thing, get it done quick. No recording, no bullshit, just fucking get the project done. Move on with your life. That's how low my motivation was to continue working on this thing. It's just been too long. Like I said, 2 years is way too long. And it hasn't actually been 2 years. I've been working on this since April of 2024. But I took a year-long break to work on my in-dev world. So, it's actually only been a year about that I've been working on it. So, either way, that's a crazy project. It took me an entire year to finish this thing. So, in the last episode, you see those two towers over there? We were going through doing interiors for everything, and we got to those two towers. So, that meant what we had left was from those two towers to that tower over there with the bridge, and then everything in between, and then we were done with all the interiors. And when I say in between, I mean like that little farmhouse down there, that little fishing shack, the giant fucking castle, also everything within the castle walls down there. So it's still like 15 structures remaining, like 15 to 20, I think, depending on how you count them. But I just did it all off camera, and we might go over all these at the end of the video. They're not very interesting, because they're all very copy pasty. Like if you guys have watched any of my recent videos, you know that I do all the interiors very similar. So it's like once you've seen one, you've seen them all. And there's like 80 different interiors, so it's like you've seen plenty. You don't need to see those. But I think at the end of the video, we'll still go through them just for fun. But this video is mainly about the castle. So, I've been super lazy with all the interiors, and I felt a little bad about it. So I wanted to go really hard for just one interior, and I was like, we'll go big with the castle. So I've done that. So let's go check that thing out really quick. And that's what most of this video is going to be about. I think we'll go over all those other interiors at the end of the video, but I don't want to waste your guys' time going over the boring stuff at the beginning, rather keep my viewer retention. So we'll start with the best and then move to move to the worst, But here it is. Here's the giant castle, and let's just take a look inside. So what I decided to do here is not base it off of any sort of actual castle interior. I think you'll see pretty quickly there's not a single castle on Earth that looks like this, so you can't really tell yet. But when I go up here, you're going to see that this thing's pretty massive. So this is what I came up with. And this angle here kind of gives you a decent view of most of it. So what I did is I decided I'm just going to dig a giant fucking hole. Whenever you don't know what to do in Minecraft, whatever you do, if you just dig a giant hole and fill it with things, it's going to look good every time. It just brings so much spectacle to your build and your world that people are going to look at it in awe. And I think it works here too. Like, there's nothing impressive about this build here. It's just like a big hole, so it seems impressive, But if you look at it closely, it's all very simple, So what we got here is this first floor. I call it the throne room. So, you got this balcony going across here, and you got the big throne in the middle. So it's the fucking throne room. And, across these balconies, I have glass windows where it makes sense, just because I think it looks really cool to look down at the rest of the castle. And there's also a lot more upstairs too, you'll see. So it's going to take a while to go through this whole build. It's pretty big. See, another glass floor, so you can just look down. It looks really cool. So that's the first floor. You got the throne room. Then the next floor I call the assembly, and that's because it's meant to be a giant like council meeting place. So the king or whoever, they go up here and they talk their shit. They tell people like, listen, you guys need to be taxed more. It's just the truth. You guys don't pay me enough money. He'll say something like that, and all of his like disciples or followers or whatever, they sit in these chairs over there. So I have these little balconies all over. Let's. I don't know why I still got F1 going on, but in all of these all these balconies, there's chairs, and that's where like people are supposed to sit, and they're all along this wall. There's also some up there as well, and there's some below too. So this is like a giant assembly hall, and I think it's really cool because you don't really see like these really big assembly halls that are so vertical. It would usually go out, not up. So I think it's a cool concept and one I'm definitely going to revisit again very soon. Like I love the idea of like a giant auditorium, but it's just up. It's just up and down, just vertical. It doesn't go out at all. Like I think that looks really cool. And yeah, I'll definitely revisit this. But yeah, second floor is where the king comes up on the podium and he tells them. And I got these like benches on the side. This is where like, the people of his court or his like OGs, his fucking day ones, the people he really fucks with, they'll sit here and they'll look out at them too, like with disgust because they're better than them. Um, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but yeah, that's what the second floor is. Oh yeah, also I want to mention like all this stuff here, um, all these little balconies, you can access these. So you see these two like tubes or towers going all the way down. Um, you can actually go in there on the first floor, and there's a ladder going down, giving you access to every single one of these little like cubicles. And then down here, this is the bottom floor, and this is the dungeon. So instead of having anything nice, I put rooms. So you see all the iron doors, these are all meant to be like jail cells or prison cells. And yeah, they're all along this bottom floor. I flooded it with water too, so if you want you can jump down this thing because that's always fun. And it kind of makes it feel like the people over there, those are like the real high security bitches. Like these are people you don't want to fuck with. These people are they're trying to fucking usurp the throne, bro. Like you got to keep them at bay, literally. So we put water in the way, and I put some boats down here because why not? It's fucking cute. Um, but yeah, and in all these little prison cells, it's just they all look something like this. So these stone slabs are meant to be like a bed. The red stone's meant to be their fucking blood because they are bleeding. They're being tortured and shit. We're trying to get all the information we can out of these guys. And sometimes there's like these little holes. Those are their poop holes. They poop in there. That's how that's how I imagined it at least. And this one is a bunk bed because there's two sets of slabs. Then deeper poop hole because they're shitting more because there's two of them, and their blood on the ground. But they all look like that. We're not gonna go look at those ones because they're pretty much carbon copies. But yeah, that's it for the bottom floor. Now let's go check out. Let me show you how to access these little balconies on the side really quick. But or here I can show you here. So here on the podium where you talk your shit, if you just go back here and go into the wall, you can access those ladders I was talking about. So if I stop here, look, now I'm on one of these little balconies, just like observing the fuck shit. I don't know, whatever the king's saying. And yeah, and then if you go up to the top, here you are. You're back at the throne. So these ones on the corner are the same thing. They just go up and down for the castle, but they don't go down actually. So there's no reason for these to go down. These ones just go up. These ones in the middle, they go up and down. And like I said, there's a lot more of the castle upwards too. We're not even done yet. But yeah, this took a while to do. Um, I don't know exactly how long, but a couple days. It pretty much took like an entire Friday and most of a Saturday. Like I got off work on a Friday and just started digging, and then on that Saturday I finished digging because this is like 30 blocks deep. So I don't know exactly how long, but it took a decent amount of time. And over here we got more of these fucking floor windows. I just love this build. Like this is the sort of thing I like to build a lot. I don't know how to explain what this is, but like this doesn't exist in real life anywhere. There's nothing that is this like weird and strange. There's just not. But this is the sort of thing I like to build. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense. There's not a single castle on Earth that actually looks like this. So it's not like it's not the type of castle interior most people would do, but it's so cool. I don't know why. I just love a giant fucking hole in the ground with platforms. Like it looks like a labyrinth, and I think I like building weird abstract things that resemble labyrinths, not real things. And then that's everything for this floor. Now let's go up to the next floor. So up here, this is the like grand dining hall. I went for that like Harry Potter vibe with all the lights hanging down. In Harry Potter they'd be floating, but that's kind of what I was going for. I put these stone slabs on here. Like those like old school like fancy dishes. They'll come out with the tray and it's got a big cover on it. It's meant to be those, and they're like, "Sir, your dinner's here," and they're like, "Whooshing," and they pull that shit off, and it's like a giant fucking chocolate cake or something. That's what these these stone slabs are meant to be. I don't know why I'm explaining this so hard. um, you know what that makes me think of though? Like like you open this up, there's a big chocolate cake. Like think of like Matilda when that kid gets in trouble, that fat kid, and she makes him eat that entire cake, and he's like fucking sick as hell. Yeah, that's what this is. And I don't even know what I'm fucking talking about. I'm exhausted. I've been working on this fucking all day. It's like midnight right now, and I'm fucking tired as shit. So if the things I'm saying don't make sense, whatever. It's fine. It doesn't need to make sense. But yeah, this is the dining hall. It looks dope. I love it. Whatever. And then over here is the castle library. So it's just a cute little library. Nothing super fancy going on here. It's just a little library with a little balcony up top. I think it works really well for how small it is. Like, looks great. I think so. I'm happy with it. Nothing too crazy to say about it. Then over here, I like to think of this as like the kitchen slash storage room. Like this is where they cook their shit, where they make their giant fudge chocolate cakes, and they put out here to force the fat kids to eat. Um, and yeah, they just store stuff in here. I don't know. I kind of also like this too because I could just use this as like a legitimate base one day if I wanted, like a legitimate storage room because it has crafting tables, furnaces, and a ton of chests. So I don't know. That's kind of cool. But that's all the really cool stuff with the castle. There's a little bit left still, but it's not nearly as interesting. Um Up here we still so now we're on like the outside of the castle, like that. But up here's there's still interiors for this part here. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, I'm like losing it. So in here, it's just like a storage room, and this tower is connected to this tower over here as well, and they're identical. So I don't know why I showed you both. But as you go up, these are just bedrooms because I figured like the royal family or whoever actually lives in this castle, they need somewhere to sleep, and I think it makes sense for them to be like high up and protected. Well, I guess they're not protected if the castle like crumbles, but anyways. So yeah, there's just bedrooms, and it's the same thing over here. Here's a little like bridge across the thing that connects the two towers. Great vantage point of the city from up here. I think it looks wonderful. Ooh, especially this side. Oh, that tower's in the way of the lake. What a shame. But yeah, more bedrooms, and as you go down, another bedroom, and then that storage room at the bottom. But that's it for the castle. That's the whole interior. This thing took quite a while to do, but it's finally done. And like I said, I went and did all these interiors up here as well. They're nothing too crazy, and I think we'll go over those at the end of the video. But first, I want to here, shit. I want to show you guys a little bit of the progress this thing's made. So, I have a bunch of saves here. Since we're at the end of this project, I want to give you a quick history of this project, or a quick little like showcase of the history of it. So, this one here, as you can see, it says here 4/12/24. Let's pull up this save. That's when this saves from. What is it? I think it's set speed. Yeah, set speed 5. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So, in April of 2024, I came out to this part of the map here, and I started just flattening this area. This is the little house that connected to the mountain base down here, and I remember. See, here's the mountain base. It looks so different now without the fucking glass floors. But I remember coming out here and being like, we need to fill this area of the map with something. So I decided to build a castle. And for those of you who don't know, like my main goal with this world is to fill in everything within this railway, this giant railway. Fill it in as much as possible with my builds, like as much as possible, on the surface and below. I want it to be totally congested and totally full of my own creation. That's kind of the goal. So I came out here and I was like, we need to put something here. This is a good spot for a castle. So I started flattening this area out and started to build a castle. Then if you go to, let's see, I believe this one here. Yeah, I think this is the next one. But here you can see I finished flattening off this area, doing some terraforming, and then I built a giant castle here. I put these walls up, and I started to do some of the first houses for the city. That little one there, this one here. But I just think it's kind of cool to show what it looked like before. And like now, there's buildings going all the way around here, all the way up here, and all the way back here up until this temple. It's totally congested. But then after that, let's see the next little piece of progress we got. Okay, so now in this save you can see first of all I finished everything inside the castle. Looks very nice, wonderful. I did some more terraforming around the back here, it looks like, sort of flatten things up. And I started putting in the first houses outside the castle walls, as you can see. And I remember when I got to this point, I remember thinking I was pretty much done. And so my goal was to build like 11 or 12 houses outside the castle walls, going in a circle, connecting them with a big path, and then just spamming trees everywhere. And it was supposed to be like a very like wild like / forested area outside the castle, and there's supposed to be like big wheat fields and stuff like that, and that was supposed to be the end of the project. But as I got to this point, I started filling in those houses, and it just didn't seem right, and I kept like having this itch to add more. Like, instead of putting a big wheat field here and a bunch of trees, I was like, or we could just put like 6 more houses. And I just kept getting that itch, and I couldn't fucking fight it. And the project just kept growing and growing and growing. And I really thought it was never going to fucking end. But anyways, then that goes to, let's see. This one was next. And you can see the progress here. Added more buildings on the outside, like put this cool cemetery, a little church here. A lot more buildings. You can see I added the ones back here. And the main thing I did though here was I did even more terraforming, and started to add those retaining walls that are all across the city. So big retaining wall going this way, and those retaining walls like made the build completely. I think it looked like shit before the retaining walls, but then yeah, going all the way around here, all the way over here, and then I made this one here, and I put two more retaining walls going up, and then back here I eventually even put in fucking more somehow. I was just like obsessed with putting in retaining walls everywhere. I just love the look of the stair step, like I don't know why, but like stair step mountains, like it just looks so good. All right, there's that one. Then let's go to the bottom. Then this one here. All right, so now you're starting to really see some progress. So most of the main structures are done now. None of the interiors are done at this point, but most of the main structures are in. I believe, let's see. Like you can see back here, we're missing a lot of builds still. There's supposed to be a little church there, two towers right here. This mountainside is supposed to be a giant tower as well. And same with this like mountainside as well. It's supposed to be like a giant tower. And then back here, there's supposed to be like a house there. There's supposed to be shit all up in here as well. So most of the main structures are in, but not all of them. And at this point, I hadn't done any of the fine detailing either. So none of the smaller, like minor structures had been put in. None of the vendor tents, none of the fountains, none of the little like vendor carts either with like logs and hay bales. None of the paths, none of the lanterns. Like, still had a long way to go. All right, now we got this one here. And then here, you can see all the main structures are complete now. So, like I was saying for this area, look, there's those two towers and that little church I was talking about done. Here's that tower where it used to just be mountain here. I replaced it with a tower. Same with right here. And over here, look, I put a few houses down here. This still is going to eventually, this will like turn into a garden, but that hadn't happened yet. And yeah, so all the main structures were complete at this point. Now I was just going in and detailing, adding fountains, vendor tents, all the pathways and lanterns. And you can see I had started that up to like this point, and then it kind of just stops. Or no, there's some more down here, but I was still making the rounds with all the vendor tents and small little structures that kind of just add detail to everything. And I think that might be the last one. Yeah, that's it. So that's the last one I had. Now let's just go take a look. Now let's just fly around. This is on the main save, and yes, I'm cheating on the main save. To showcase things, I fly around on the main save all the time. I use it like you would like no clip. It doesn't fucking matter. But and here's what the actual finished finished product looks like. So it looks a lot better once you go in and add all the greenery, really. I mean, that's no surprise, and I've talked about that a lot in older videos. It's like it kind of looks like shit until the very end, and you're kind of anxious about it, and then you add in like the greenery and the little minor builds that like give it just a little bit of life, and suddenly it looks great, you know? Like in the last save, this area up here was barren, and I decided to turn it into like a garden with a big water feature, and it looks wonderful. Like I love this area behind the castle. It is so, I don't know, fucking namaste or some shit. It is very zen. No, this is like one of my favorite areas now. Just to be over here by the dock, fishing. I'm just kidding. I don't fucking fish. Fishing in Minecraft is like totally stupid. I don't ever do that, but especially this version of the game, it's like you have no reason to do that ever. But yeah, this is what it looks like finished now with all the little details put in. I love this area too. I think this area looks great. Oh my god. Yeah, it looks so good, especially coming like this way. Got this little pond here, this fountain, these little like retaining walls, stair stepping up to more vendor tents. And I mentioned this briefly in the last video too. This fucking city makes no sense at all. I think a lot of people. I think it's funny because I love the way this looks and everything, and a lot of people would get really caught up in the details of like giving this thing lore and shit. I've been seeing a lot of videos recently of people being like, what you need to do to like make your builds come to life and make your builds better, or like make playing the game more fun, is like add lore, give some lore. And I do, like, to some extent I do. Like in the castle, I'm like, look at, that's where the king sits. Down there, that's where he talks to his people. But I keep it very vague, and it makes it a lot easier because the economy of this place probably makes no fucking sense at all. There is like three different types of buildings. It's like residential, it's like a bar, and then an inn. And like those are those are the three types of buildings. Then there's a giant fucking castle and a giant fucking library down here. And it's like, other than that, this economy works off of nothing but little vendor tents, little vendor tents, inns and taverns, and that's the whole economy. It makes no sense at all. But I don't know. For all the people that say you need to like give lore to your builds, I get that, and if that helps you, that's cool. But I kind of like just making the build and not getting too specific with it, because I like to think of it as like, even though I built this, I don't know anything about it. Like my interpretation of it is just as good as yours. Like this, I like to imagine you've just stumbled across this place. Like me and you. Like we both have just stumbled across this place, and like we can decide what the fuck this is. But I don't like actually deciding. I don't know why. I just don't. I think it's weird. Um or I'm just not creative. That's very possible. Or I'm just lazy. The most likely situation is that one, actually. But yeah, this is the finished product. This took over a year to do. Over a year of actively working on it. It took 2 years in total to finish. But like I said, a year we didn't. We spent an entire year not even working on the damn thing. But yeah, it's finally done. Holy cow. I think it looks dope. This is probably my favorite part of the map now. Actually, it's not. The mountain base is still king. I think the mountain base looks so dope. I could hang out in the mountain base all day. But what are we going to do now that this is done? So I want to run some things by you guys really quick, and I want your opinion. First of all, the next project we will be taking on is going to be right here. This is the next biggest area that needs to be filled in within the perimeter of our base, is this giant area here from the tree farm up until the medieval city border right there. So next project is filling in this giant square here. I got a few ideas for it. So I'm kind of going in two different directions, and what I actually end up doing probably won't be either. It'll probably be something in between both of them. But so we got this big tower here, this big Ubisoft tower. That's what I call those. And I think it would be cool to build a few more towers in a similar style, like right there, right here, there, maybe one there, and then dig out everything else around it and create like some sort of canyon or ravine structure, and then fill that with like a city. So that's idea one. I think it'd be cool because if you have big towers and a ravine, bro, the verticality is just going fucking nuts. There's no way that won't look cool. It doesn't even matter if you're good at building. It's like, just if there's enough verticality, it's gonna look sick. It's just that's just how I do it. It's a cheat code. The other thing I have in mind is, instead I would dig a giant hole, cover it in glass, and then flood the glass, and it would look like a lake over here, like a giant lake with some towers coming out of the lake. But in that giant hole would be a crazy library, because my favorite thing to build in this game by far is libraries. And a giant library in the ground under like a lake that you can see through the glass, I think would look really cool. And it would be massive and it would take forever, but I think it'd be fun. And the idea for that comes from this over here. So this is a library I built back in alpha. This is one of the first builds in the world. And it's just this giant box I put into the ground, and inside of it is a little library. So I want to do something like this again, but on steroids and with beta blocks, and because this was done in alpha, so I had a limited block palette. But yeah, I kind of want to do that again. Those are my two ideas for the next project. Which one I'll decide on, I have no fucking clue. And like I said, usually I have like a few vague ideas on what I want to do, and then what the final product doesn't usually end up being either of them. It ends up being something totally unique in its own, but you can see the inspiration from those ideas that like led to something else, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's that. And really quick, well, first of all, let's stop cheating. I should stop flying because I'm not showcasing anymore. Let's go to the comment section really quick and do comment of the day. All right, we're at the comment section. This is where I keep comments from every single video I've ever made. I pick at least 4 from every video and add them to the walls here. And last episodes are just down here. I picked 4 of them, and here's what we got. So I'm at a breaking point world update 23. First comment that got chose was from First Person Life, and he says it's Poptavious Summer, baby. And this guy leaves a lot of comments on my videos. He's watched like every single one of my videos. So this guy's dope. He's seen it all. And if you want some like if you want to just find a channel that has like hours and hours upon hours of ridiculous entertainment, check this guy's channel out. He's been subbed to me for a long time, and I've seen his comments for a while, but um I've never watched any of his videos. I remember I clicked on this guy's profile before and saw he made like videos, but I don't know. It was like real life stuff. It didn't look like something I'd be super interested in, so I just never really watched it. If it's not an old school Minecraft world, I don't watch it. It's just how I work. But I decided to check out his channel recently, and bro, this guy's got some fucking ridiculous content. That's all I'm gonna say. This dude's fucking nuts, and I love it. So yeah, check out his channel. It's fucking ridiculous. Then this guy, Yogurt PGG Real, says every time you cuss, an old lady gets destroyed. Good. I hate them old fucking wrinkly ass bitches, bro. They fucking suck. Fuck those old ladies. I hope they die. Fuck them. There's another one. And Gun Tavern, he says, your city is like a densely populated fantasy world. Do you think you'll ever go far out and start new areas? No. So the whole goal with this world right now is to fill the perimeter like as densely as possible. I love the look of like a Minecraft world that is like very populated, very densely packed. Like every corner is filled with builds from like top to bottom. It creates this giant like labyrinth structure that's really like fucked up and crazy to look at. Like think of like old school servers like near spawn, and there would just be ridiculous builds way up in the sky all the way down to bedrock. That feeling I just love. So yeah, my goal is within the perimeter of that giant railway outside the base to fill that area as much as possible. And once it's filled, then we'll just extend the perimeter. But until that happens, we're not starting any new areas. And yeah, I'll probably never go out to any far area ever, to be honest. All right, then the last comment is from Skullcube OS, the OG. This guy leaves a comment on like all my videos. Check out his channel too. He has a really dope beta world as well. As someone who also only plays on weekends due to my cringe 9 to 5, well said. Fuck grinding resources. All my homies hate grinding resources. The larger my projects get, the more I dread the inevitable. The inevitable. I don't know how to talk, bro. It's too late. The inevitable multi-hour quarry and tree farm session. No, yeah, I get that. Like, that's what's rough about Minecraft, and I mean, especially beta. Like, that is one thing I've always liked about the modern game is it is a lot better at respecting your time. It's one of my biggest gripes with beta actually is I do like that beta. There's no shortcuts and everything just takes forever, and you either have to grind or it never gets done. But I do wish there was more progression to it, or more cool farms you could make that could make the whole thing like easier, or make the gameplay loop just a little bit more sped up because it's just too slow. So yeah, I get that. It's like, yeah, the long ass tree farm sessions and mining sessions, they're rough, and that's what sucks too. It probably doesn't even look like I get much done in these videos, but there's usually every video I post, there's like anywhere between like 10 to 20 hours, maybe not 10, but like I'd say like 5 to 20 hours of resource grinding that you just don't see. Me at the tree farm, me digging a giant fucking hole to get more cobblestone, me sitting AFK at the spider farm, gathering more string, or me going on glowstone hunts. Like all those things that happens fairly often, And yeah, it's one of my least favorite things about beta and one of my favorite things. I'll say that. It's love hate. Sometimes I love the grind, other times I'm like there should just be more progression in this fucking game. But overall, I like this. I like beta more than modern, I'd say. But yeah, modern definitely respects your time a lot more. Beta does not. Beta expects you to give it everything. But that's also part of what makes it so cool. Like, um, it is kind of cool knowing, like, you see this world I've built in beta, and it looks pretty impressive. But then you remember too, like, this was built in beta, and everything becomes way more impressive than if it was built you know, um, in the modern version of the game, because there's just so much that's automated, and the gameplay loop is so much easier, and there's a lot more progression tools that can help you out. So yeah, I get that, but it's part of it is what makes beta so good too, and I like there being a grind. If there was no grind to it, I just play creative mode. But I totally get where Skull Cube's coming from this, and I've just been rambling. But anyways, that's all the important stuff for the episode. If you guys want to stick around, I'm gonna go through all the interiors that I haven't shown you yet, and then we'll call this project good and we'll end the video. But this is the first one here. This is where it left off in the last episode. And I got really lazy with some of these ones because they were just like awkward and stupid. But that first floor is nonsense. There's like random bookshelves in that room. If you go over here, you can see these two towers are just like connected. If you go up to the top floor, I think there's like a desk or something. Yeah, so someone's studying up here for some fucking for some godforsaken reason. I have no idea why, but yep, just a couple of towers. After that one, I did the interior for this guy over here, I think. Let me see. I think it was, yeah, it's this one. So this is just a standard fucking house. Nothing too special about it. And in here on the first floor, I just put some chests, made a little storage room because I wasn't sure what else to do. And second floor, cute little lounge area right here with a table. Um, and then in here's a little bedroom. Then you go up to the third and final floor. Same thing, like little living room area. Just fucking the most shameless bookshelf spam you've ever seen. Like, what is this room? I don't fucking know. I just put a table and spammed bookshelves, bro. But yeah, there's that. And then in here, another bedroom. And if you think my interiors are lazy, guess what, bitch? I'm not lazy. It took forever to get all these damn bookshelves. So many hours at the goddamn tree farm. It's not lazy at all. All right, then we did this one next. So same thing. It's a wall with two little houses put on top of it, and then a watermill. And in here, just plants and paintings on the first floor. I got really lazy with these last ones. I'm not gonna lie. I was just ready to do the. I was like, we'll just do these quick, then do the castle and move on. But yeah, there's that. Let's jump down for this. Onto the water wheel. You see that parkour? Then we did this right here. This one here. I like this house on this little hill. It's got this cool little balcony. I think it looks nice from the outside. And like this hill too. I just like this hill. All right, I'm getting distracted. But let's go check this out. First floor, nonsense. I can't tell you what this is, bro. I just can't tell you because I don't fucking know. Second floor, as you can see, there's a bedroom. And here's just it's just bookshelves, man, bro. It's just a wall of bookshelves. I have no idea what I'm doing at this point. Yeah, I was getting lazy with these ones. Holy cow. More bookshelf spam, more bedrooms. There's another bedroom over here. Yeah, I'm just showing you guys these because I have to. I've shown every single interior, so it's like I can't just not show you these. Everything has to be showcased in this world. It's just like kind of how it works, you know? Otherwise, I just wouldn't show anyone anything. Here's, I built this little thing here. This is totally not related to the interiors, but I built this little bridge here because it just looks wonderful to look out at that mountain. That is a wonderful example of like great alpha world generation because this world was started in alpha. And then the next one we did, so here we have it again, another wall with towers and houses on them. I was getting obsessed with doing these because they worked great for the perimeter of the city, making like literal walls for the city. So it feels like never ending from the inside no matter where you are. Yeah, that first floor is really nothing. This is a floor full of nothing but bookshelves. In the middle though, we got this little house. We'll check this out. Little desk here. And then up here there's fucking more desks. I don't know what's going on, dude. These suck. I'll just be honest. These suck. Then we got this little house over here. I like the look of this house. I think it's I'd like to take the idea of this house and like max it out cuz it's like I want to just like stack houses on top of each other. So if I make like this stone structure at the bottom bigger and I can just make these um housey bits, I don't know what you call these, like pointing out in every direction and it goes up like infinitely. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I want to do that one day. First floor, dining room table, kitchen, beautiful. Second floor, what do we got? I don't know. Bookshelf spam. Hell yeah. A little table, lots of paintings. It's a beautiful place, a wonderful place to live. This house cost probably $600,000. Not gonna lie. Actually, with how close it is to the castle and the royal garden, this house it might look small and shitty, but this thing cost a milli. I'm not gonna lie. $1 million and you can have this thing. 7% interest rate. Yep, you're fucked. I hope you got fucking 4 grand every month to pay your goddamn mortgage. I think it'd be more than 4 grand. I have no idea. What would the mortgage be on $1 million house? I have no idea. I shouldn't even be putting numbers out there because it's gonna show I'm fucking stupid as shit. Anyways, over here, I'm tired. I don't know what I'm talking about. Over here, another wall with things. We'll go in here really quick. I don't even want to show you guys these. They're fucking boring. So first floor, chest. Second floor, chest. Third floor, table. Bookshelves. Window, beautiful. Down here. Then there's like a tower in the middle here. That's really pretty much it for that structure. Then over here, follow the path this way, go up this winding staircase, and you're at the next house that we did. Boom. You see this little bar area over here? Tables where you can eat your shit. And you go up here and you're on the porch of the house. In here, I don't know, this is bookshelves and a table. And then here's a bedroom. The bedroom for that house. That's it for that. Then I did this little house here. It's a very tall one. House on a stick. I did a lot of these like houses on a stick. I think they look crazy cool. From the outside. On the inside, they look like shit. There's chest down there. I don't fucking know. Then up here, there's a table. Go up to the next floor, and it's a bedroom. How beautiful. Yeah, do you guys see now why I didn't really show these off too much? All right, we're almost done though. We only got a few more left. Got like 4 or 5 more. Over here, then I did this tower here, and this one's especially pathetic. At this point, I was just like, I was tapping out, bro. There's just too many buildings in this city to give them all great interiors. So, chest spam, bookshelf spam, chest spam on this floor, a little balcony to go out to this bridge that connects to this tower. And we've already shown this tower. This tower is from when we first started the interiors. This tower signified like a complete loop, like we've done all the interiors. Then you go up here. Look at this. We got a nice little church. I love this church. It's very small and very cute. It turned out great. Interior, totally harmless. Nothing wrong with this. Little podium, place for them to sit their fucking asses, you know. Place for people to worship the Lord. Can't be mad about that, bro. Come on. Well, I can, bro. The place to worship the Lord, but what about Buddha? Nobody talks about that. We're not diving into religion. Don't worry. And that's all of those. There's still a few more I have to show off. I don't know what I'm doing parkouring right now. So I also did all the interiors for everything inside the castle walls. Except this one. This one's technically been done since like June of 2024, so we won't show that because I've shown it off in a different video. Here's a little blacksmith. We don't have to go in there. This is a little fishing hut. That's it. There's nothing to show there. This little house right here, just some sort of small residential building. I don't know. You can interpret this however you want. Cozy little bedroom up top. It's got big windows. I love that. Then over here we got a little restaurant. That's what this house is. See, they got a little bar area, tons of tables. Then you can go up to the second floor. You got a balcony with tables, and then another little bar area up here. There's that. Then let's see. I gotta show this one next. I think this might have been the first house I built. So I built this castle, then I did the walls around it, and then I think I built this house right here. And this I turned into a tavern/inn. So here's a little bar area. Up here we got rooms you can rent out or something like that. I don't fucking know. No idea, dude. Man, I'm so ready to not be doing these shitty copy to paste interiors anymore. Holy cow. I'm so ready to move on to something different that's not medieval. I've never liked building like medieval things in Minecraft. I think it's because it's just done too much, or I don't know. I just don't like building things that are too real or literal, you know? And then there's this house here. I like building things that aren't real, if that makes sense. If it resembles something too real life or something that we like know too well, I usually just don't like doing it. I don't know why that is, so it was cool to try to build something that is outside of my comfort zone, but I'm ready to get back to just building weird shit that doesn't make sense. That's just how I work. Alright, last two houses. This little fishing shack here, we can just walk through it. There's the whole interior. Fantastic. And then this little house up here. Let's go check it out. Ooh, wonderful. First floor, there's a chest and a table. So, there's like nothing here. Oh my god, this is so lazy. Wall of bookshelves, line of bookshelves, a bed. Yeah, I got pretty lazy with these, but I don't give a fuck. You can sue me. You can try to sue me. I don't think you can sue people for building shit in Minecraft, you know. Let's fly around again. All right, guys. That's all I got for you. The project is finally over. And to end off this video, we'll take another little tour via flight around this place. But yeah, it's been 2 years, and it's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I'd stay up all night crying, thinking about this place. It was like fucking torture. Oh yeah, you guys remember this? This little King Arthur shit over here, hidden in the trees. And yeah, I'm being a little ridiculous. This place never made me cry once. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm glad it's over. This has been a fun project. I think this place looks wonderful. But I'll never do it again. Well, I will, but it's whatever. One day we will come back here. I do have. This is gonna sound crazy because I'm just talking about how I don't want to ever do this again. But one day I do want to come back here and add two things. One, I want to add floating islands everywhere. Everywhere I can, I want to put floating islands with castle-y bits on top of them, you know? And then in the castle here, you see how there's all this water down here? One day I want to come back to this and dig out a giant tunnel going this way and that way and have some like sprawling sewer, you know? Ooh, maybe what I'll do is eventually, like the comment section, I'll just have it keep tunneling until it connects to this place. Maybe that's what I'll do. But yeah, you know, the world's always evolving and we're always going to be changing it and adding things. So yeah, one day we'll come in and we'll add floating islands to this bitch and it will look fantastic. But for now, I'm going to get started on the next project and I'm going to start digging out this area over here and thinking about exactly what I want here. Like I said, I have some vague ideas, but I don't know 100% for sure. And that's the beauty of digging a giant hole. You got plenty of time to think about it. So that's all I got for you guys. If you're somehow still watching right now, let me know if you guys would be interested in a InDev Plus series as well. I've been highly debating starting an InDev Plus world and doing like I did with that Minecraft InDev video where I dug out the entire thing and filled it up with like my own builds. I'm thinking about doing the same thing with InDev Plus. If you guys think that would be interesting, let me know. I'm only asking you guys because if I do that, it means the beta videos will happen less often, obviously, because I'd probably alternate, do like one beta video, then do an InDev Plus video. So progress would literally be cut in half. So if that's something you're interested in, though, let me know because I've been tempted to do it. It seems really fun. Like that InDev Plus mod looks fucking bonkers. It looks a lot of fun. I think it'd be great. Man, now I'm just like killing time. What else do you guys want to talk about? Is anything on your mind? All right, cool. I guess that's it then. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. This has been Greg Popovich. Pasta la pizza.